Why talk politics when I can check in with the best? Distinguished Professor of American History at American University, Professor Allan Lichtman. 9 out of the last 10 races he's gotten right. So, what's your take on the state of play?
Yeah, quickly, I would say 10 out of 10 because 2000 was a stolen election due to the cancellation of the black vote, as I proved in my report to the United States Commission on Civil Rights, which is still on their website. But let's not quibble about that. So my advice to all of your viewers is take the polls and the pundits and do to their analyses what the great philosopher David Hume said you should do to works of superstition. Consign them to the flames. Polls are snapshots. They are abused as predictors, and the pundits have no scientific basis and no track record for their predictions. So let's turn to a system that does have a track record, my 13 keys to the White House, which is premised on the idea that American elections are essentially votes up or down on the strength and performance of the White House party. Chris, you'll think this is very positive. It's governance, not campaigning, that counts. So where do we stand right now? 6 of these keys would have to go against the White House party, that's Joe Biden, to predict their defeat. Right now, for certain, Biden has lost 2 keys. Party mandate, because they lost House seats in 2022, and incumbent charisma, because he's no FDR or JFK. So 4 more keys would have to fall. And I've said, a lot would have to go wrong for Biden to lose. It can happen. So I will tell all your viewers what are the 4 keys you should look at. The polls can't tell you this. The pundits can't tell you what's going to determine this election. Third party. Is RFK Jr. going to get on the ballot in enough states? Is he going to stabilize at least at 10% or more? Social unrest, which I thought for a while was safe, but are we going to get, an explosion of social unrest as we get closer to the election? Remember,
put the keys up
it's got to be
talking.
enough to call into question the stability of the country. And then the shakiest keys, given the 2 wars that are raging, foreign military failure and foreign military success. Keys.
Yeah,
10,
see, that's why I'm saying,
11.
Allan, why don't you see the 6, and now things can change, obviously, but why don't you see at least 6? The mandate, party contest, no. Incumbency, fine. Third party, of course. Short-term economic, even though the data's there, the message isn't. Long-term economy, same. Policy change, there's this feeling in the electorate that things have gotten worse. Social unrest, wild card. Scandal, constantly. The foreign problems with the Middle East and Ukraine. And then 12 and 13. You got so many people in the Democratic Party who are afraid Biden's not going to make it and they don't want Harris. Why isn't it already in the cards?
Because you've got to stick to the keys. I understand you and a lot of the other commentators, and I respect you all, have your own take on the election. You can develop your own prediction system, and that's fine. But you've got to stick to the keys. You can't say the polls show these perceptions 6 months out from the election, so we have to change the keys. That's a sure recipe for error. Biden has not lost the short-term economy key, which depends upon the National Bureau of Economic Research declaring a recession. You may think something else. That's fine. He's won the long-term key because growth is so strong. And Trump does not count as charismatic because under my system, you have to be broadly charismatic. Reagan and FDR won landslide elections. Trump lost 2 elections by 10 million votes.
Allan Lichtman is tough to disagree with because he's always right. Allan Lichtman, thank you very much for giving us your current read on the 13 keys. We'll keep checking in with Allan for one simple reason. He's the best, and I will not waste your time. Hey, thank you for watching. Please go to newsnationnow.com, newsnationnow.com, and you can find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button down below. Then you will get more of NewsNation's fact-driven coverage.